Okay, and as more people join, we're going to get started. Thank you for taking the time out of your afternoon to come to this webinar on how to accept your offer to full-time programs. My name is Taylor, and I am a third-year respiratory therapy student.
And my name is Lily. I'm also a third-year respiratory therapy student, and we're part of the Student Ambassadors program. We also have Faith from admissions as well, and we have Lauren to answer some of your questions, and we have Catherine as well.
We're just going to start the presentation today with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the sacred land where we are today, which has been and continues to be the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River, among many other unnamed and unrecognized Indigenous communities. At this location, we stand on land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. We recognize this agreement as not a thing of the past, but as a promise today and into the future. We must share the responsibility of ensuring that the dish is never empty by taking care of the land and the creatures we share it with and transforming our personal and institutional relationships. This meeting place is still home to many Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work and learn on this land. We urge you, as future Canadian healthcare practitioners and leaders, to acknowledge that it is our collective responsibility to strengthen our ties within the communities we serve and practice healthcare in a way that advances Truth and Reconciliation Commission's 7 health-related recommendations and practice your profession in that spirit. So firstly, congrats on receiving an offer of admission. I'll just be quickly going over how to accept your offer, what a provisional offer is, and what to do for it, fulfilling your health requirements, and then highlighting some important upcoming dates. So the first thing is accepting your offer. You'll have to log into your OCAS account and accept the offer there. Everything else is now done on Michener's self-service. You'll be filling out your attestation, accepting your offer, and then paying your tuition deposit. All of that has to be done by the May 31st deadline. After accepting your offer through OCAS, you can then sign on to self-service and head to the Admissions and Acceptance of Offer tab. The first thing that you'll see is Step 1, Review and Accept Post-Admission Requirements. Click Attest Now to review and agree with specific post-admission requirements. You'll be redirected to the post-admission requirements attestation form, and then you will proceed to go through all of the required fields. Each post-admission requirement can be agreed on by either typing your full name or drawing your signature. Then you select Take Me to Michener Self-Service and hit Submit. It will redirect you back to self-service, which may take a few seconds. And you may be required to sign in once again once you do get redirected. Now, for the Acceptance of Offer tab, you'll see Step 2, Confirm your program of choice. This is where active offers you received will automatically be listed, and you can select which one you're going to accept. If your tuition is responsored, you can let us know the name of the company in the field. And finally, you select the date in which you're filling out the form and hit Accept. After accepting your offer, the last thing you need to do is pay your deposit, which is the third step under the Acceptance of Offer tab. After you select Pay Now, you'll want to select the term you'll be starting. So for example, 2025 fall. You enter in the deposit amount yourself. So if you're a domestic student, it would be $500. And if you're an international student, the deposit is $1,500. Make sure to hit Make a Payment so you get redirected for a payment to a third-party provider. Once the payment is successful, you'll be redirected back to self-service. You'll receive a payment receipt from Michener within 3 to 5 business days. Oh, sorry, Lily, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So a provisional offer is an offer of admission that is conditional on your fulfilling specific requirements before July 15th. So make sure to check your offer letter for ARQP status. An example of a requirement would be your official transcript. If a if a prerequisite was in progress when you applied, a complete official transcript will have to be sent directly from their office to admissions@michener.ca by that July 15th deadline. So make sure to give enough time for your institution to do that. Another thing due in July are the health requirements on the 31st. July 31st. A list of them is on self-service under checklist and then my tasks, and then you upload them under checklist health documents. You'll also be uploading your vulnerable sector check here as well. The list of my tasks doesn't get updated until Health Services reviews and approves the uploaded documents. So don't worry if you upload them and then it's still there on the checklist. If you have any questions about certain health requirements or the upload process itself, please reach out to Health Services at michener.ca or attend the Health Requirements webinar on May 29th.
We'd also like to invite you to an exclusive event for students who received an offer of admission called the Choose Michener event on May 22nd. The registration is open now, and event details will be sent out on Friday, May 20th to those who registered. So we threw a lot of dates and deadlines at you, so we wanted to put it all together. Feel free to take a picture of this slide if you wish. And in May, we have the Choose Michener event on the 22nd, the Health Services webinar on the 29th, as well as the deadline to accept your offer of admission on the 31st. In June, we have a webinar for financial aid on the 5th, and in July, we have the deadlines to meet the conditions of your provisional offer on the 15th and to upload your health requirements by the 31st. Before we go to a general Q&A session, we wanted to let you know that there are virtual one-on-one drop-in sessions with our admissions team called Ask Me, where you can meet with someone and ask specific questions about your situation that we didn't cover in this webinar today. These are running every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So for the general Q&A, we'll hand it over to our facilitator, Catherine. You can absolutely message your questions in the chat and she'll read them out, but we'll also be typing and answering questions as well.
Hi everyone, congratulations on your offer of admission. I'll be taking the live Q&A session. We have one question here. Hi guys, Jay here. Just wondering how you can confirm your attestation went through. I have the receipt. Is that enough? So Jay, we do get a list of people that attest on our hand. You might not be able to confirm that you are tested, but we get the list, and once we get your payment, we know if you are tested or not. If you did not attest, we would reach out to you via email, reminding you to attest. I hope that answers your question. That's the only question we have right now. If you have any other questions, please just type it in and we will answer. Okay, we have another question. Hello, for the standard first aid requirement for MLS, can I take any standard first aid course? Like as Taylor said earlier, if you have any specific questions about your health requirements, please send an email to healthservices@michener.ca. They'll be able to answer your questions. The admissions office cannot answer specific questions about the health requirements because there's a department for that. And you can also attend the webinar. You'll get more information there as well. Thank you. We'll just leave the Q&A open for the next maybe 30, 45 minutes. So if you have any questions, please just ask away. Thank you.
Thank you for everyone who has joined. So also just one reminder for everyone who received an offer and they got the email with the invitation for the Choose Michener event. So please make sure that you are registering before May 9 because on May 9 the registration will be closing. We will be sending all the details. Even if you haven't registered, we will be sending a last reminder email so you can register and don't miss the opportunity to come to the Michener, visit the institute, and also have different campus tour. So just looking forward to all of you to participate in the event.
So we have a question. Hi, does ARQM indicate a full acceptance or is this provisional where I have to submit additional info by July? So a status of ARQM means admission requirement met. It's not provisional. You are not required to submit any other supporting documents aside your health document. For a status that says ALQP, that's a provisional admission where you're required to submit some documents. It might be a proof of degree conferral, a proof of completion of certain prerequisites, and all documents, all transcripts, and proof of completion of any of the prerequisites you're taking needs to come in form of an official transcript sent directly by your institution to Michener or OCAS, any one of them. And if you're sending them to OCAS, you can just shoot us an email, letting us know that you submitted it to OCAS already. Okay, so we have another question. How can we register for health requirements webinar? Emails will be sent out to everyone that got an offer and accepts the offer, telling you the next steps on registering for the health requirement webinar. Are there any resources or webinars to learn about specific programs? I received 2 different offers and want to learn the specifics. Yes, so we do have recorded webinars that we did in the past. We had some that we had both students and alumni talk about each of the program. If you go on our webpage, you can just go to the events page and you'll see a link that redirects you to YouTube where you can watch any of those webinars. I'm sure you get a lot of information that would help you make an informed decision. Okay, so we have another question. Just to confirm, the email for the offer says ARQM for me. Does this mean I do not need to take any actions during July? Okay, that means you don't have to submit any other supporting documents. You fulfilled all the requirements for admissions. You don't need a proof of degree conferral. You don't need a proof of completion of any of the prerequisites. You fulfilled everything already. So the only other documents that are required now are your post-admission requirements, your health requirements, and the others that you have in your offer letter.
And then, sorry, someone asked, do we have to do the mask fit testing by ourselves or does Michener do that? So Michener will set you up with that before you do your clinical placements. I'm just entering my clinical simulation semester this summer, and we'll be doing it at the end of this month.
Hi, can you please give additional information about vulnerable sector check, like institution code, etc. Thank you. So for that, please, you can send an email to healthservices@michener.ca and they will provide every information you need about the vulnerable sector check and every other health requirements. Will campus stores be available on any other days other than the 22nd? No, unfortunately, we don't do campus stores for individuals. So for anyone that wants a tour of Michener, would encourage you to come for the youth event on the 22nd of May. You can also take a virtual tour online. We have virtual tour for each of our programs on our website. I hope that helps you. I just wanted to make a note that to accept your offer of admission for the cardiovascular perfusion program, it has to be done through self-service and not OCAS because the application was done via self-service. For the document upload, like the immunization forms, I assume scans of the paper are acceptable, right? Yes, you can scan your documents and upload them on self-service. Hi, I'm looking forward to Choose Michener events. My question is about the last question when signing up was about dietary restrictions. Will you guys be able to accommodate for them all, or will you get heads up that it may not be accommodated? if you have any restrictions, I would encourage you to send an email to admissions@michener.ca so we can accommodate them, and then we can make arrangements for whatever your restrictions are. Thank you. Hi, okay, so we have another question about the vulnerability sector check. If I have a vulnerability sector check certificate using a different institution code, do I need to get a new one for Michener? Okay, so like I said earlier, every question about the vulnerable sector check, about the health requirement, goes to the health services department. That's healthservice@michener.ca. We wouldn't want to give you the wrong response. They are the department in charge of this, and they would give you every information that you need. And you can also attend the webinar. That would help you get more insight of exactly what you need and how you're supposed to go about them.
Hi, yeah, so someone asked, for the Choose Michener event, will we meet professors and current students too? Absolutely, and you'll, for each program, you'll be taken into the labs and you'll get to see the institution, so you will absolutely be able to meet professors and current students.
Okay, we have another question. Do I need to accept the offer of offers on Michener self-service? Or depending on the offer of admission you receive, if you received an offer for cardiovascular perfusion, you have to accept that via self-service. But if you receive an offer for any of the other programs, ultrasound, genetics technology, respiratory therapy, medical laboratory science, chiropody, or diagnostic cytology, you need to accept them on OCAS. You need to confirm that you want to be in the program on offer so we can retain a seat for you. And if you also want to decline any of our programs, you also need to decline them on OCAS as well. Hi, I'm asked to submit my SH for you final marks to fulfill ARQP by July 15. But I saw my SH for you has already been on OCAS. Should I still need to ask my school to email you the final marks? Okay, so in this case, all you just need to do is send an email to admissions@michener.ca informing us that your final mark is now available on OCAS, and would go in there, download your transcript, and update your file accordingly. Where can we watch the recording for this webinar again? So, a link to our YouTube page will be updated before the end of the week or by the next coming week, and it will take you directly to YouTube where you can watch the recording of this webinar.
So, and we have a question about if for the Choose Michener event, like you can only choose one program for the campus tour. Yes. So unfortunately, we can only accommodate one for like when you're filling out the Eventbrite form. So you need to choose one program that you would like to register for the tour.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. I currently don't have a Toronto address, but I'll be moving. Should I apply at my regional police service or just email out services at Michener? Since you are currently not at Toronto, I would encourage that you apply as your regional police service. They will be able to help you. I don't know when you are moving. It might take more time because I know sometimes it takes time. So we don't want to waste any time. You can just apply where you are right now. For MRI first discipline students, are they eligible to be registered to practice in the USA? Okay, so if you go on our website, you see a list of licensing exams that you can take. You are eligible to take the licensing exam and practice here in Canada. If you would love to practice in the USA, you would have to reach out to the licensing body over there to know if they would accept your license from Canada or if there are further steps you need to take. We cannot answer for USA. You would have to send an email or call or just reach out to the licensing body over there, and they'll be able to confirm if you can practice there or if there are any other things you need to do to be able to practice over there. We still have time. We have about 30 minutes or 25 minutes to take more questions. So you can just send your questions in.
Hi, yeah, so there absolutely is a textbook list for the ultrasound program. These will be available to, once you get your Michener email, you'll have access to the Michener intranet, which is my.michener. You can also access it through michener.ca. But for the textbook list, it will be posted and it'll have all the textbooks that you'll need, the editions, all of that.
Hi, so somebody said, is there a mandatory scrub that we need to be wearing, or can we wear any scrubs that we have? For Michener, you will get program scrubs, but you don't have to wear them. When you come to school for lab, you can wear any scrubs that you like. But just know that when you get out to clinical placement, oftentimes the hospitals will require you wear their scrubs.
So we have a question. How much is the tuition fees during August 15th for ultrasound program? Okay, so if you go on our website, Lauren, please, can you just put a link to tuition fees in chat box? If you go on our website, you'll see what the total tuition is for each semester. And with that, you can know what your balance is. I don't know if you're an international student or a domestic, but you'd see the balance, just reduce it by $500, and that's what your balance will be. So we sent the first round of offers, and the deadline for that is on the 31st of May. The second round or subsequent round of offers will come out after then. So we need to see the number of applicants that accept their offers, and we'll decide if we have to send out other rounds or if that's it. But either ways, we'll communicate with all applicants via email within the coming weeks. Just double checking that no other emails for the other webinars have been sent out. No other emails have been sent out. I'm sure the links and invitations will be sent out within the coming weeks from the appropriate department. So the webinars will not be hosted by admissions. There will be one from health services, and then there'll be one from the registrar's office for financial aid. They will send out the invites to everyone that's got an offer of admission and accepted the offer.
For how to log into OCAS, you would have applied through that program. So you can just do a search of ocas.ca and use your pre-existing username and password to get in there. And it'll come up offer from the Michener Institute for this program, and then you can accept from there.
Hi, so I have someone asking, you were unable to go on an in-person tour and you were wondering if we could tell you how far we should expect the clinical placements to be. So that completely depends on the program. It completely depends on the program that you're in. For respiratory therapy, I know that we pretty much have about 3 regions. We're pretty much in the GTA. But for chiropody, for example, it is further in Ontario that you can be placed. Sorry, I can just go ahead and answer the next one. Someone asked, how long is clinical placement for MRI students? Is it the entire second year? Yes, it is the entire second year. So it will be from September to April. And then someone else has asked, now that we have received the offer of admission, what are the next consecutive steps? Do we receive any emails providing further information regarding schedules of the course? You could log into my Michener and the checklist isn't updated for me. Yeah, so my Michener, you will get once you have access to your email, I believe. And the checklist, yeah, the health requirements checklist won't update yet. But regarding the emails, you will absolutely receive emails from health services, from the registrar's office, from admissions for the webinars. regarding your course schedule, that typically doesn't go out until the beginning of August. Because of the kind of structured nature of all the programs, we give you the courses that you'll be doing. So it's not like undergrad if you did your undergrad where you get to choose your courses and you get to choose your schedule. It's we just give it to you.
So someone is asking for the MLS clinical placements, where can students be assigned to? Is it within the GTA only, or are there other locations within or outside Ontario, outside of Ontario? So for the clinical placements, students can be assigned anywhere in Canada. Actually, it's not just in the GTA or Ontario. It can be anywhere in Canada. And it's always on, you can't pick where you want to be assigned to. Michener decides where you're assigned to. Is there leeway for changing schedules, timetables, if we have work appointments, etc.? I think Lily or Taylor will be able to answer this question better, but to the best of my knowledge, you can't change your schedules or timetable. Michener will give you a schedule. It's the same schedule for everyone.
Hi, yes, absolutely, absolutely, Faith. So for changing schedules and timetables, so this is a full-time program. So in terms of online lectures, the professors will generally record it as a courtesy. But they do expect you to show up, be engaged, ask questions, be able to participate in their little learning checks that they have as well. For lab days, we ask that you expect to be on site between the hours of 9 to 5 for a minimum of 2 to 3 days. What that schedule looks like within those 2 to 3 days, if there is a certain lab section that would work better for you, like having an earlier start or a later start, then you can absolutely talk with your for first year, it would be with the registrar's office. You could definitely request to be in a different lab group, but it is still a full-time program. So you will, for things like lectures, it is a good chunk of your time, yeah.
So we have another question. Is the clinical placement paid? No, the clinical placement is part of your study and it won't be paid. It's unpaid. For the in-person Choose Michener events, if we can't attend but would like to know what's shown, is there some sort of online version or live stream for it? No, there won't be a live stream or online session for the guild events, the Choose Michener event. It's a live in-person event and it will not be recorded. So the best anyone can do if they are unable to attend the Choose Michener events is to go on our website and just take a virtual tour of their program of choice. Okay, for the placements, if there is a clinic that has requested that we do our placement with them, would that be possible, or does the school place us somewhere? So Michener would place you in any of their partner hospitals. You don't decide where you want to do your clinical placement. You can be placed anywhere in Canada. It might be Ontario, it might be in the GTA, and it might be outside of Ontario, but Michener will be the one to decide where you do your clinical placements.
And then someone asked when we get our timetables. So the registrar's office will email you your lab group and your schedule, and they will do this typically at the beginning of August. And then someone asked that, yeah, we said the placements aren't paid. Are they full-time placements? So they are full-time placements. For I know it does kind of suck that they're unpaid, but the reason is because we're working under someone else's license. Like we're not there working and we're not like a full healthcare um, practitioner yet. So we do have like a sense of liability that comes with us. So for that reason, they are unpaid, which is different from other professions, right? Where you can intern or you can extern and you would get paid. But for our clinical placements, they are full time and yeah, they're unpaid. Okay, so I um, see another question here. So what type of supports are offered in the case of students falling behind in their studies? So there are absolutely supports within Michener. There's the Student Success Network. Um, there's peer tutoring. There's workshops as well that's given as an on-demand basis. Things like if you need help with multiple choice. The faculty is also amazing. You can always reach out to them, and they're absolutely more than happy to meet with you. Um, and the nice thing about too is Michener has small class sizes. That's something that I really got to appreciate here versus like an undergrad when there's 800 people taking the same chemistry course. You get put into a class and you have maybe 40, 60, however many people, and you're all helping each other because you're all going through it together. So I think that was really nice and that was very different. But there's a lot of comfort and a lot of community within your class for sure. And then someone asked what benefit coverage, so medication coverage, mental health, etc., are available for students. So if you go to the Student Success Network page on Michener, there is a tab that can give you the specifics about the health coverage, the healthcare plan that Michener does have for its students. But yes, there is coverage for those. Absolutely.
Hi, so somebody's just asking about the vulnerable sector check, and if you can use it to reapply. Unfortunately, they do have a year expiry. So if you got it April 2024, you'll need another one for this year.
Sorry, so I started typing out an answer, but I'll just say it out loud because it was a good question. Is there any way to increase your student insurance coverages if the current plan isn't enough? Um, that I would definitely reach out to success@michener.ca. They can help you talk about your options for the student insurance coverage. Um, but I don't believe we'd be able to answer that for you. Hi, so I have someone asking, do we receive any confirmation of admission letter from Michener, or does this offer of admission is a proof of admission? Um, so yes, the email that you received is your official offer of admission. Um, for banks, for transit, you may need something called a confirmation of enrollment. See if they'll accept your admission letter for now. But unfortunately, since you're not registered in your courses yet, we're not able to issue confirmation of enrollment letters. So that'll definitely come a bit later. You'll be able to request for those towards the end of August. But for now, your offer of admission is the email that you received is what you'll be using.
We'll wait a couple more minutes for any final questions, and then we'll be ready to wrap up.
So we have another question. Is the LSS standard first aid with CPRC course run by the local city good for MLS program because they do not offer standard first aid only? Okay, so we said it earlier. You probably missed it. We'll just say it again for everyone. If you have questions about any of the help requirements, please send an email to healthservices@michener.ca. They'll be able to answer your questions. That's a different department entirely. And we also have the webinar coming up. Please sign up for the webinar when the invites are sent out. So you can ask all your questions and they can answer you directly. And also maybe listen to other people's questions. You'll just be able to get more information generally about the health requirements.
So I had someone ask me something pretty specific. Are the first 2 months of the first year entirely online? If you are part of the cardiovascular perfusion program, I believe yes, this is the case for cardiovascular perfusion only.
Will I be able to get information on multiple programs at the Choose Michener event? I'm still deciding between programs at the moment. Yes, if you come for the event, you get information about different programs, and you can even take a tour of the facility for each of the programs. And you also get to meet other students that got an offer, accepted an offer, just network, meet professors, meet the faculty, and I'm pretty sure that would help you make a decision.
I had someone ask, I'm not sure if you can answer about financially, if you have to move, are there scholarships or programs or anything to take advantage of? Um, so that's one of the great things about Michener is even though we're a small institution, there is a lot of financial aid for the students. But there are yearly scholarships that you can apply for, but there's also general bursaries for each term that you can apply for as well. If you're specifically referring to clinical placement, if you're having to move for your clinical placement, there is something called the clinical relocation bursary that you can apply for as well. So there's lots of opportunity for that. If you'd like to know about specific ones, I would definitely recommend attending that financial aid webinar that we're going to have on June 5th.
I have a question here. It says, hi, I'm a domestic student, but it shows 1,000 when I select the pay now button while accepting the offer under the account summary. Would you know why? So assuming you got an offer of admission for two different programs. If you did get an offer of admission for two different programs, the tuition deposit for both shows up on self-service and then you get the balance for the two programs. But it really doesn't matter. Just accept the program you want and pay the tuition deposit for that, and the balance will reflect the program you choose. And I think when you pay for the program of choice, the balance will actually be cleared from your self-service. You won't see that 500 balance again. We can take more questions for the next couple of minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. So if you have any final questions, if you just remembered any questions, now is the time to ask. And if you remember any questions after this webinar, you can also send an email to admissions@michener.ca. We'll be able to answer your questions. And you can also join our Ask Me sessions every Friday between 1 to 2 p.m. Members of the admission team will be there to answer questions.
If there's no other questions, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming to this webinar. And of course, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, so we haven't, yeah, the webinar's finished, absolutely. So I was just about to say we haven't really seen any questions. Please just make sure to write down the emails, admissions, at michener.ca and on the reg office at michener.ca. You can also give us a call, just between those hours that we are in person to do that, to answer the calls for you. You can follow us on Facebook, on X, and then Instagram and LinkedIn as well. But yeah, for those of you that are still here, we will be ending the webinar in just a moment. So have a good rest of your day, and thanks again for coming and asking your great questions.